Hi, you guys. My name is Doris, and this is the Knit and Purl Podcast, episode 28. Bad Knitting Mojo. The show notes for this podcast can be found on knitandpurl-doris.blogspot.com. In social media, I am One Fine Cow on Ravelry and Twitter, One Fine Design on Facebook and Etsy, and I am Doris M. Smith on Instagram. Come follow me and like me and all these things. This podcast also has a Ravelry group, which is the Knit and Purl Podcast group, and we have 52 members. And on YouTube, as of this week, we have 127 subscribers. Yay! Thank you guys for those of you who keep coming back and watching. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you for the new subscribers. And if you are new to this podcast, never seen it before, thank you for coming. And I hope that you find something that brings you back and makes you hit that red subscribe button below. And so if you're new, grab your drink. Mine is Fresca Peach. You're knitting. Sit back and relax. Okay, this podcast also has a November-December KAL knit-along. The rules for this knit-along is that you must be a member of the group to qualify for prizes. So if you're not a member of the Ravelry group, head on over to Ravelry, search Knit and Purl Podcast group, join the group. That's all you have to do, and then you can post your finished objects. The knit along is a Christmas gift knitting / finished objects. The object has to have been started on November 1st or after and finished by December 15th. There's no chatter on the contest thread. There will be a chatter thread where you can share your progress and encourage each other. You can have 2 entries per person. The prize for the Cal is a $6 or less Ravelry pattern. Number one big rule is to have fun and think about your Christmas gifting as you knit. So far, we have 5 entries. Yay, you guys are awesome. Another administration is that I probably will not be filming next week, Thanksgiving, because I will be giving thanks, cooking, and spending time with my family. But if, after you've done all that and the guys are watching football and you don't want to go shopping, just, catch up on the podcast you're not caught up on yet. And I'll see you next Thursday, the week after, the first Thursday in December. Okay? So, moving along with the rest of the show, stash enhancement, there is none this week. I did not enhance anything. Nope. And the story of the week is my low mojo on the knitting. So, I should have a lot more hats finished this week, but I only have one. So, after I finished my barley, which you'll see later, I started another hat with stash yarn on my squares, 6mm squares, circular long with the magic loop. And I got about that far. And I kept thinking, this is too big, this is too big, this is too big. So I tried it on my head. It was too big. And instead of just going down a size on the hat pattern, I was like, I gotta find another pattern. So I found another pattern using the 16-inch clovers that I used on the barley hat. And it was less stitches, and it was a jumbled mess that didn't work. The stitches wouldn't slide on the bamboo, and I was like, okay, nope. Took that out, unwound it. Then I thought, let me get my double point needles. I'll try that. I have not knit with the double point needles since I found Magic Loop. Very rarely do I knit. Like last week, or when I finished my barley hat, I finished up with the double point, and it was so awkward. Ugh. But I did it. So I tried the double point, and I got like 3 or 4 rows of ribbing done, and I had ladder, and I'm like, ah, okay, ripped it out, put it aside, put everything aside, and so I've only worked on 2 projects and had 1 finished this week because things just weren't going right for me. And then last night I just didn't feel good. I didn't pick up anything and knit. So that's my story. And hopefully it gets better because I have some Christmas knitting to do. Yes, I do. So, finished objects is next. And I will show you my barley hat, which is the only thing that I have finished. And there it is. It is a free pattern on Ravelry from Tin Can Knits. And it was knit on my Clover US 8 5mm 16-inch circular needles. Let me scoot my notes over here a little bit so I don't leave anything out. And it is made from Red Heart Super Saver yarn in the camouflage colorway. So I like the way it turned out, except with the acrylic. This little garter section is a little bit short and wonky, but I think it'll be okay. The grandson that gets to this got a lot of camo stuff for his birthday in October, so I thought, yes, he's going to get a stocking cap with the camo stocking cap. So that's my only finished object. Okay. So I only worked on 2 things other than trying to knit hats. And that is my hitchhiker, which is a bot pattern on Ravelry by Martina Bem. And I'm knitting it in Broco sock, 75% superwash wool, and 25% nylon. The color is 1463. The dye lot is 1199. Here is the sleeve. And this is almost finished. And I'm discovering that it's very hard to wear around the neck because it's scratchy. But I'm going to wear it. Okay? I'm going to wear it because I love it. This is where I was last week. Can you see it? Yes. I've got 2.5 teeth done, which means I have almost 38 teeth, which mean I have 4 more teeth to go. Yes. So I will be happy. And then I actually did some research, and I remember that James, the dancing geek, talked about how he had one of his shawls or something that he knitted was scratchy, and that someone suggested using hair conditioning, and washing it and wearing it will soften it up, I heard. I researched it last night. I looked it up. And so I'm going to wash it, block it when I get done. And then if that is still scratchiness, then I'm going to use some conditioner and make it better. 4 more teeth, though. Next time you see me, it should be done. Hopefully. My mojo has got to improve. Anyway, this is how much is left of the first ball. But I decided on this yarn to make this because I have another ball. So I knew I was going to get into my other ball. So that is the Hitchhiker. In my Joanne Springs Knit Spin Farm bag. She's on Etsy. She makes awesome bags. Did I tell you I'm knitting this on? No, I didn't. And I didn't include it. Size 3. 3.25 needles. It's my Addy Turbos. 40-inch circulars. And see, my shawls are successful. My shawls are getting attention. My terribly simple shawl by Caitlin French is a free pattern on Ravelry. I'm using 10-inch or US 10 6mm, the Addy Turbo 40-inch circulars. The yarn is the Red Heart Boutique Unforgettable in the colorway Petunia. And I didn't put a doohickey, so I don't have proof that I did any more than last week. But I did. And you should be able to tell. I've got quite a bit done. And I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, do I fasten off now or do I want it to be bigger? Soon. Probably soon I'm going to end. Because I kind of want to wear it like this. But I kind of want it to be be able to wear it around my shoulders too. But anyway, free pattern, very, very simple, terribly simple. If you want something that's like brainless, this is it. It's awesome. Like this pattern. This too might be finished the next time we talk. And hopefully a couple more hats. I've got this in my Lantern Moon bag that I got from a friend. One that has a bunch of pockets. It's like 4 pockets all around. Pockets on the inside. Adjustable handles. Very nice. Love this bag. That's it on the knitting. I told you, bad mojo. So on the spinning, I'm spinning the same thing. So I still have that little... No, it's on the back. 1 second. This stuff is from Missouri. I can't say the name. That's why I'm showing you the bag. It is 100% alpaca. Suri alpaca. The colorway is light fawn 2013-1. It's approximately 4 ounces. I think it's probably a little more than 4 ounces. This is what it looks like in roving. I have 2 ounces finished, and I will probably start this on the other bobbin. So that too might be done the next time we talk. Yay! So I'm not going to show you because it's still on my thing with some roving attached, and so anyway, that is all of the knitting and spinning. So we're going to go to Pinterest, and this week on the Pinterest and Stumble, I picked out a couple because I knew the knitting was going to be mild. But you know, this is some fun stuff. But if you're not interested, the knitting section is done. There is a few gift things and stuff that you might want to stick around for. But if not, I'll see you next week, or I'll see you in 2 weeks. Stick around if you want. We're going to Pinterest. The first thing is a project bag, which I found on Pinterest. And it is a Come open up, open up. It is a wrist. It's a knitting bag, project bag, stripe pouch, wristlet. I'm gonna show you the big picture. Is that awesome? I want one of those. I've never knitted and walked around. I've never I was gonna look up. There was a picture on Instagram of somebody with a bag in the kitchen knitting. She said, if you want to know how I get so much knitting done, Den Mother, I think is her name on Instagram. Den Mom. I hope that's right. I wasn't going to say her name but I think it's Den Mom. There was a picture of her sitting. She said she was having leftovers for supper. She was looking at the microwave and knitting, and she was holding her. I have not been able to do that. In my mind, something would go wrong, and I would throw it down, and I would lose stitches, and so I have not combined cooking and knitting yet. But anyway, this is really cool. And I'm going to open it up and show you and tell you the name of the Etsy store is Otterburn, capital PC. Otterburn PC. PQ, I'm sorry. And here it is. And you can see the name. Very cute, very reasonably priced. And I want one. The other thing that I pinned on Pinterest, a lot of people are talking about, knitting their stash and maybe getting rid of the acrylic. Well, here is something from Red Heart. If you have, small boys or grandsons, this would be an excellent project to knit. It's knitted. No, this is crocheted actually. Something to use up your dreaded acrylic. It's so cute. It's called a roadway throw crochet pattern from Red Heart. That is so cute. And you open it up. And here's a bigger picture. It tells you what you need. And it gives you wait a minute. Oh, sorry, I didn't look. Configure product. Oh, don't tell me it doesn't have the pattern. Doesn't have the pattern. It has where you can buy the yarn. Hang on. Oh, I should write a review because I'm sorry. There is a download printable instructions. I'm sorry. And here it is. There's the instructions. Very cute. I don't know if you change the color. I don't know. But I was wrong. It gives you let me go back one. It tells you what you need down here and you can add it to your cart or whatever. But there's a listing of what you need, but then it has a downloadable, printable pattern. I just thought, a way to use up, the dreaded Red Heart. I know that I have to be careful about what I knit with the acrylic now. I'm learning, but I still have acrylic because it's what I can afford right now. So the next thing, I did a couple stumbles and okay. I'm going to do the good one first. The other one is funny, but don't know if it'll offend anybody or not. So, this is the best ways to fancy up hot chocolate, and it's by Stricken, the website Stricken. So here we have, let me see if I can make the picture better by flipping. Yes, I can. Here we have, this is what it looks like, and I'm going to read it. The first one is with peppermint. You use a cup of whole milk, a half a cup of chocolate chips, and 1 teaspoon of peppermint extract. So the orange, you use a cup of milk, a half a tablespoon of sugar, a half a tablespoon of grated orange zest, 2 ounces of dark chocolate. This is how you make your cocoa. Vegan, you could use a cup of vanilla almond milk, a tablespoon and a half of unsweetened cocoa powder, 2 teaspoons of cocoa palm sugar. Aztec, you use a cup of milk, 5 ounces of sharp dark chocolate, 1/4 a teaspoon of cinnamon, and a tiny pinch of cayenne. Peanut butter. Milk, heavy cream, milk chocolate chopped is 4 ounces, and a 1/4 of a cup of creamy peanut butter. And then we have a pumpkin spice, which you use a tablespoon of maple syrup, a half a teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice, a cup of milk, and a teaspoon of unsweetened dark cocoa. We have the Nutella, which is milk, Nutella, a couple tablespoons, tablespoon of cocoa, and a pinch of salt. Caramel, milk chocolate, the kind that you chop up, heavy cream, and 3 tablespoons of caramel sauce. There is a lavender white chocolate, a cup of milk, 1/4 of a teaspoon of lavender buds, and a half a cup of white chocolate chips. And for Irish, we have a cup of milk, a half a cup of chocolate chips, and 2 ounces of Bailey's Irish cream. And it says top it off with marshmallows, whipped cream, cinnamon sticks, caramel. So there you have it. It is on the website. Let me turn it this way. Come on, come back the right way. It's on the website Stricken, or you can look up the best ways to fancy up hot chocolate this winter. So the second stumble, I thought it was funny. I thought it was very funny, and nobody has to own up to any of these things, but we can laugh about them. So the title to this is Embarrassing Things All Women Do, but Will Never Admit. So we don't have to admit that we do this, but we can laugh that maybe other people do. Okay? I refuse to admit any of this. 10 embarrassing things all women do but will never admit it, by Xphobe or Xphobie. We rarely wash our bras. It says, by rarely, I mean never. It says, we assume that they just don't get dirty and we wear the same one day after day, even if we have a whole drawer full. We probably only wear a few of our favorites. We don't want them to get ruined in the wash. I wash my bras. We pick our noses. Whatever. There's a picture of... We hate shaving. I agree with that. Ugh, hate it. We are particular about pooping in public. When we have to, and absolutely have to, we go while out in public. We try to pretend we're not in the stall and act dead silent if someone comes in. We won't poop until they leave the bathroom. If they came in to poop, there is usually a poop stalemate and nobody wins in the poop stalemate. We have gross shower habits. Yes, women, we pee in the shower. Why go to the toilet when you're just going to get in the shower and it's running down the drain? That's all right. And this says that you also stick your hair that falls on the floor or on the drain on the side of the shower. Going to remove it later, but we always forget. I never do that. Okay. We deal... Oh, my camera went away. Hang on. I'm just trying to make sure it doesn't do something crazy. We deal with that time of the month very creatively. And this said that, if we get that time of the month and we don't have anything, that we use toilet paper. That's all I'm going to say. Or we just let it drip on our underwear and clean it out later. That's what they said. We don't shower every single day. It says we assume the position. Number 8. So women fart, sometimes out loud, usually in the car or when we're alone and we laugh hysterically. Sometimes, though, we can't fart out loud, i.e. job interview, first date, etc. And so we get into a strategic position so we can either hold it in or let it out slowly and praying the whole time that it doesn't stink. Why did I read this? I don't know. We struggle in dressing rooms. And this said that you put on something really too tight and then you can't get it off and you panic and so. And finally, we want to look good when we were emotional. It's like we look in the mirror while we cry or whatever and try to be pretty about it, but it doesn't happen. Anyway, guys, sorry if that offended anybody, but I thought it was so funny, so I wanted to read it. Okay, guys, we've come to the end. If you found anything enjoyable or informational, go down there, hit that red subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button, join the Ravelry group. Anyway, thank you guys so much, and I will see you in 2 weeks. I hope that your Thanksgiving is filled with laughter and fun with your family, and that we can find things, remember the things that we're most thankful for. I'm thankful for you guys and for your continued support and your continued viewing. Thank you so much. Bye.